Paul said, this is the Apostle Paul, and this is what he said. A parting statement. Do you know what that means? That was just before leaving. Paul's statement was as follows. The Holy Spirit rightly spoke through Isaiah the prophet to your fathers. Folks, that was written thousands of years ago. Thousands, at least 2,000 years ago. Before Paul died, he wrote that. He said that. It's written and recorded in Acts chapter 28. You want some more of Paul's writings? He wrote to the Corinthians, and this is what he said. For to one is given the word of wisdom through the Spirit. The word of wisdom through the Spirit. And to another the word of knowledge according to the same Spirit. But there is another Spirit. Which one is that? That's not the one that Paul had. Paul had the Holy Spirit. But there were some others that had it not. Listen to this. In the same chapter, 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 9, to another, faith by the same Spirit, and to another, gifts of healing by the one Spirit. Then in 2 Corinthians, it reads this way. If one comes and preaches another Jesus, whom we have not preached, or you receive a different spirit. A different spirit has a different gospel. That's what a different spirit will have. And they will be in opposition to one another. They will. And where will they operate? They are operating in the church. And the church is not a building, though you might have thought it was. The church is not a building. People say, well, we're going to the church. No, you're going to the building. Listen, if one comes and preaches another Jesus whom we have not preached, or you receive a different spirit which you have not received, or a different gospel which you have not accepted, this you tolerate very well. If they were tolerating it very well 2,000 years ago, how well is it tolerated this year? In the Galatians, the book titled Galatians, in chapter 5, it reads, for the desire of the flesh is against the Spirit, and the Spirit against the flesh. For these are in opposition to one another, in order to keep you from doing whatever you want. But you like to do whatever you want. Is that correct? Folks, there is another spirit at work in individuals. Now, if you will cleanse or be cleaned. You don't need but one Spirit, friends. And if you receive another Spirit other than the one that comes from God, although I have noticed that there are other spirits that come from God. God is the one who created spirits to begin with. And there can be spirits from God. They can. Jesus made it clear to Peter that Satan had permission to sift him like wheat. Now, things changed over the last 2,000 years. But sifting, something comes clean in sifting. But if Satan can deceive you with false words, you will be deceived. There's only one Spirit that raised Jesus from the dead. Only one. That's the same Spirit that told Noah to build an ark. He did. God himself spoke to Noah, told him some things, and Noah built an ark. He did. If Noah had not built the ark, I wouldn't be sitting in this chair today. I wouldn't be in this chair today. But Noah did build an ark. Probably wouldn't be here today if Abraham had not taken Isaac up on the mountain as he had been directed by God. Folks, my words come out of my mouth. If you speak, the words will come out of your mouth. When Jesus spoke, words came out of his mouth. When God speaks, words come from God's mouth. And somebody says, well, God doesn't have a mouth. If God has a face, he has a mouth. Just as sure as I'm sitting in this chair. There is a spirit at work that deceives the nations. That spirit has been deceiving the nations for years. God has brought down many nations, and he's raised up just as many. God can raise up, and God can take down. In the age to come, there will be people that have been raised from the dead, and they will be immortal. There will also be some that will be immortal that had never died. It's going to happen really fast, folks. It's going to happen.